إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. World Muslim Heritage Research Center USA is organizing this event in solidarity with our Palestinian brothers and sisters who are under duress, under occupation, and under bombardment by the occupied Israeli force. And in this condition, they are celebrating their Eid. So our event today is in celebration with their condition. First of all, I would like to congratulate all of you and say Eid Mubarak, Eid Sa'id to all of you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Holy Quran, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, in Surah Al-Isra, Surah Bani Israel, Subhanalladhi asra bi'abdihi laylan min al-masjid al-harami ila al-masjid al-aqsa alladhi barakna hawlahu linuriyahu min ayatina. Innahu huwa as-sami'ul basir. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, glory to him who made his servant Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam travel by night from the sacred place of worship to the furthest place of worship, which is Masjid al-Aqsa, whose surroundings have been blessed, to show him some of our sign. He alone is the all-hearing, the all-seeing. That blessed place that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, Masjid al-Aqsa, is under occupation today. So today we would like to focus and talk about this situation, this condition of our brothers and sisters surrounding this blessed place. We would like to start our discussion by the welcome address of our Secretary General of World Muslim Heritage Center, Advocate Khalid Yahyea. Now I'd like to welcome Brother Advocate Khalid Yahyea to give his welcome speech, inshallah.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Innal hamdalillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. All praises belong to Almighty Allah and peace be upon all of you. At the beginning of this session, I would like to extend the Eid greetings to all of you. Eidun Sa'id. تقبل الله منا ومنكم كل عام وأنتم بألف خير وصحة وسعادة. Honorable audience and especially Honorable Chair, the members of the panel and the audience who are watching us from different parts of the globe, peace be upon all of you again, and the greetings of Eid, Eidun Sa'id. Respected viewers, definitely you know that last couple of days there is an alarming situation happen, especially in the Palestinian territory, and that is why on instant we have arranged today's session, and we have titled today's session is Eid Celebration of Palestinian with Israeli Bombardment. Definitely the world community witnessed a serious number of instances happen last couple of days, and the violence followed weeks of tension in Jerusalem during the Muslim fasting month of Ramadan, with clashes between Israeli police and Palestinian protesters in and around Al-Aqsa Mosque, on the compound revered by Jews as Temple Mount and the Muslims at the Noble Sanctuary. Not only this year, last couple of years, we have witnessed that, especially in the month of Ramadan, this sort of aggressions happen on the Palestinian people. And in this year, a significant story is a 30-story residential building in Gaza collapsed after it was hit by an Israeli airstrike. And a number of people, including women and children, they were killed on the spot. In addition, Israelis ran for shelters and flattened themselves on pavements in communities more than 70 kilometers up to the coast amid sounds of explosions as interceptor missiles strike into the sky. And the significant situation include that Israeli satellites attacked today, as well as the Palestinian people are celebrating Eid al-Fitr. but the media made the statement that before even 2 hours there was air strike even on the Eid al-Fitr. So definitely this is against all sort of humanity. This is contrary to international law. And uh, there were several statements before. So International Court of Justice, they said in their statement that the construction of the wall being built by Israel, the occupying power in the occupied Palestinian territory, including in and around East Jerusalem and its associated regime, are clearly contrary to international law. So series of times the Israeli authority, they made and they violated the norms, rules, and established principles of international law in a number of occasions. But the authority of Palestine, they said that Israeli occupied Palestinian land and is still occupying and annexing Palestinian land, killing clearly the Palestinian people. And we know the history that in 1993 there was a peace treaty between Palestinian Authority and Israel, but still they are not following the rules and conditions of that treaty, and they are continuously occupying Palestinian homes gradually. The Israeli occupation is the cause of all evil. That is the statement of the Palestinian Authority. It is not the Palestinian presence on their own land. Rather, they cannot blame the victim of what will happen. And in response of the recent attack, the UN Security Council, they held an urgent meeting on the unrest in Jerusalem, but unfortunately they did not issue any immediate statement till now. And definitely from our session today, we declared, we want to say that this is definitely an act of terrorism, and the Palestinian people, they deserve their right to protection in their own way. In this regard, I want to make in my welcome address in a very precise way that there are a number of authorities, they should come forward to perform their duties. The first one should be from United Nations. They should play an active role to stop this sort of aggression and aggression and killing, especially to the women and to the children. Second thing is Organization of Islamic Cooperation, that is consisted of 57 Muslim countries, and their title is the collective voice of the Muslim world. They should come forward and they should take immediate step to stop this aggression by the Israeli Authority. When the YC Charter was made in 1969, in their charter, it was specifically mentioned that it was intended to support the struggle of the Palestinian people who are presently under foreign occupation and to empower them to attain their inalienable rights, including the right to self-determination and to establish their sovereign state, with Al-Quds al-Sharif as its capital, while safeguarding its historic and Islamic character and the holy places therein. But very unfortunately that the YC could not perform their role from their own side to stop this aggression and to settle the issue. So from our session today, definitely we are not against any religion, we are not against any country. Rather, we are demanding that to stop that sort of aggression, especially to the women and to the children and any innocent number of people. So from today's session, we want to say that more pressure should come to Israeli Authority to stop this aggression immediately, and also there should have a common declaration from all sort of countries, especially from Muslim countries, that this sort of aggression should not be continued and should not be repeated in near future. And in terms of YC, every member states should play active role from their own side. And in regard to the stopping the violence, diplomatic relations or economic relations or strategic relations should be considered and should be reviewed, and withdrawing the ambassadors on a temporary basis could be applied in response of this action from the states. And any sort of treaty, either economic treaty or any sort of treaty with Israeli Authority, could be postponed for temporary basis. And finally, I want to say that we should be more human than other sort of our identity. And to show our solidarity with the Palestinian people, instantly we have organizing our today's session, and a number of prominent scholars from different parts of the globe, including researchers, including lawyers, and including the prominent human rights activists. They are invited today in our session, and they will make their particular statement in regard of this situation. So with this note, I want to conclude my welcome address, and we demand that immediately international authorities should come forward to stop this violence on the Palestinian people, especially to the women and to the children. Thank you very much for your kind patience.
Jazakallah khairan, Brother Khalid Yahyea. Very well said. It is not okay to kill children. It is not okay to kill women. It is not okay to kill civilians. Whatever is going on today, the attack in Gaza, that is not self-defense by Israelis. That is aggression, and that is violating all international norms and laws. That is war crime. At this point, I would like to welcome Imam Abu Samiha Sirajul Islam. Imam Abu Samiha Sirajul Islam is a human rights activist. He is the Khatib of Brooklyn Islamic Center, and currently he is in charge of Quran Academy for Young Scholars. Let's welcome Imam Abu Samiha Sirajul Islam.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. It is indeed an honor for me to be here in this conference today at this hour of the day when Palestinian people are actually going through a tremendous oppression, in the sense that they are about to celebrate one of the holiest occasions of their religion and their life as well, but yet they're under the bombardment of the Israeli occupation forces. We, in the very beginning of this session, I would like to condemn the activities done by the Israeli occupation forces. Occupation, we know that it degrades humanity. It dehumanizes humans. That you are taking over some people's land where they have lived for centuries, for thousands of years, since time immemorial. It was unknown since when they have been there. And then you come from somewhere else and take over village by village, town by town, and displace the people who were living there. And they have done simply nothing wrong to you. Like, we talk about Palestine today, it was an Arab land since unknown time. We do not know. And those people who are coming from immigrants from Europe and other places, the Jewish immigrants who came and took over the land, claiming that this was their land, which is, if this was their land, then there's no known record to us. On the other hand, we have this record that these people, the Palestinians, whether they were Jews, they're Arabs, Muslims, Christians, or Jews, those who lived here since unknown time, it is never known that they have come from somewhere else to occupy it. They have been there. But we know that this group of people who have occupied over time, year by year, they have been taking over towns, villages, cities, and then displacing the native population and depopulating places and taking over and replacing it with occupiers and illegal immigrants. This cannot be tolerated. And on top of that, now you see that every day, almost every month, they do some actions of aggression on people, civilian people. People's livelihood is disturbed. Their olive trees are cut down. Their lands are taken over. And now you have the bombs raining down on their places of residences. So you have, as has been mentioned, women are killed, children are killed, non-combatants are killed. Simply, humans are being killed for no reason. It's just because they are afraid of their losing their grip on the population that they have been occupying. So, as a concerned human of this world, I and anyone who supports this idea that human beings should live with dignity and honor in their own land with freedom, that we strongly condemn the activities done by the Israelis. At the same time, we demand that the world communities stand up against this occupation and play their role, the role that they are supposed to be playing, like the United Nations and all other world powers that they claim to act on behalf of humanity, ensuring peace and stability around the world. They should stand up, they should come forward and force the occupiers to stop their aggression on the people. And on the case of the Muslims, the Muslim communities, we saw a few years back when OIC was formed, as was mentioned, they were strong supporters of Palestinian cause. However, unfortunately, in recent years, we have seen that many of these countries are backtracking. They are not really supporting the cause of the Palestinian people. So we demand that the leaders of the Muslim nations should also stand up, and they should play the role that they're supposed to be playing, the role they have pledged to play when it was this organization was created. Last night I saw a stamp someone posted, like from Bangladesh. It was sometimes in the 1980s. They said, "We welcome and we welcome the resistance of Palestinian people, legitimate resistance." So that was a commemorative stamp they have. They did come up in the early days, but nowadays everybody is quiet. This cannot go on. So any concerned human who cares about humanity, about dignity, about honor, about freedom, they should all stand up against this occupation. And this would be our message to the world. And inshallah, as I have to go to lead the prayer of Eid, we hope that our Palestinian brothers and sisters can celebrate their Eid without any further aggression on their life, on their property. So with that, I would like to end here, and I thank the organizers for this opportunity that they've given to me to talk to. And this way, I have been able to raise my voice towards to the world, to let the world know what we think about this aggression. And once again, before I end, I am once again strongly condemning the actions of Israeli occupiers, and we demand that they should stop. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah khairan, Imam Abu Samih Sirajul Islam. I know you are extremely busy, and as you mentioned, you're on your way to lead the the Eid al-Fitr prayer. Still, you manage your time for us. Jazakallah khairan for that. And you rightly said that it's very unfortunate that even 10 years ago, the entire Muslim community, Muslim Ummah, was sympathized towards the Palestinian cause. But unfortunately, we see a backtracking now, especially by UAE and Saudi Arabia, which is very unfortunate. On the other hand, we are also seeing a strange change in West, not by the Western governments, by general masses in the West, and a number of progressive lawmakers who are demanding human rights abuse, inquiry, and condemning human rights violation by Israeli authorities. Just yesterday, 24 US member of Congress came out and wrote a letter to Secretary of State Tony Blinken. The title of that is "The Forced Displacement of Palestinian Families in Sheikh Jarrah is a Blatant Human Rights Violation." And 24 members of Congress writing this letter, this could not have been imagined 4 years ago, even 2 years ago. So this is a very, very positive move. This was spearheaded by Representative Mary Newman. So this is a very, very positive move forward. On the other hand, as Imam Siraj said, there is a backtrack by Muslim leaders, which is very unfortunate. So at this point, I would like to request one of our panelists, Brother Saimum Reza Talukdar, who is a faculty member in School of Law at Grant University, Bangladesh. Let's give our undivided attention to Brother Saimum Reza Talukdar.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Although Muslims are celebrating Eid in several parts of the world, but if we consider us as Ummah, we cannot celebrate Eid when one of our very integral part, the Muslims of Palestine, are suffering with heavy bombardment and systematic persecution by one of the occupied force and Zionist state, that is Israel. So although it's a Eid day, but I cannot celebrate under this situation. However, what should be the way forward, like how we can deal with this situation. The first thing is that what is going on against the people of Palestine? Is it attack? Is it atrocity? Or is it anything else? I would like to recall the decision of the International Criminal Court that has been taken this 3rd March of 2021. The Chief Prosecutor Fatou Bensouda of International Criminal Court has opened a formal investigation into the alleged war crimes in the Palestinian territories that have been committed in the East Jerusalem, in West Bank, and in Gaza Strip in June 2014. You see, the allegation is the war crime, and also there are allegations of the crime against humanity. So what is going on against the Palestinian people right now in the West Bank, in the Jerusalem, in the Gaza Strip, or other areas where Muslims are living, the Palestinians are living? It is systematic aggression. It is systematic persecution, and it is widespread persecution. So all the elements of the war crime and also all the elements of the crime against humanity are present there in the action taken by the Israeli authorities, particularly the Israeli Defense Force and the government. So that we always have to keep in our mind while we are talking. It is we should say that it is war crime and it is crime against humanity. Why is that so? If the Europeans, if they claim that they are the genocide surviving nation, if the Israelis themselves, they claim they are the genocide surviving nation, then it is the moral and legal obligation upon them to try any war crime and crime against humanity happens anywhere of the world, because the jurisdiction of the crime against humanity and war crime is universal. This is the agreement which have been agreed by all the nation states of the United Nations. Even the United Nations has been formed under that very principle that the atrocities that we have seen or the mankind seen during the Second World War will never be repeated, or will never let be repeated. So it will be incumbent and it will be mandatory for the Europeans, the North Americans, whether East Asians or Arabians, whoever it is, to try this such horrendous crime of the war crime and crime against humanity. So this is very important. The second, what we are actually to whom we are fighting against? Are we fighting against the people of the Israel? Are we fighting against the Zionist state? Are we fighting against the political opponent, etc., etc.? So if we believe in the equality before law, if we believe in all those human rights principles, if we believe in human dignity and equity and equality, then we cannot do injustice to anyone. But that does not mean that someone come up with a political agenda that a certain land would be claimed as the land of the Jews, and they will be propagating the Zionist agenda, and they will be committing all those war crimes and crime against humanities, and he will be saying this is the land of the Yehudis or the Israelis. It's not like that. It is not the land of the Jewish, rather than it's a political land. It's an imaginary border, which actually have been created for to gain some political achievements. And what are that political achievements? We should not see the current situation in the isolation of the colonialization, because when the Enlightenment or the so-called Enlightenment in Europe started during the 1400th century, from where they started? They started from the Granada by persecuting the Muslims. So it was the King Ferdinand, who actually persecuted the Muslims and Jewish people in the Granada, and they forced them to flee away that Spanish territory, and they mark that event as the starting point of European Enlightenment. Actually, that was a period of the start of colonialization. And if we go through the European history, where not they reached? They reached the America. They killed millions of Red Indians. They reached Australia. They killed millions of Aboriginals over there. They killed millions of South American people. They came here in India. They looted us. So you cannot see this Zionism the propaganda and this Zionism project separated from the colonialization. No, it is the consequence of the colonialization. We still have not forgot the event of the First World War, when the British regime, the British colonial power, actually divided the Usmania Khilafat, and they let the Saudis to get separated from the Usmania kingdom. So this is how they actually divided the Ummah, the Muslim Caliphate, and they actually propagated the local tribal leaders. So that's why we have seen the emergence of different nation states, the Syria, the Saudi Arabia, the Kuwait, the Egypt, and etc. etc. So all that have been the blueprint of the colonial masters to divide and rule. So if we point out to the Zionist state and to this political propaganda, we also have to remember that this is the consequence of the horrendous atrocities and genocide committed by the colonial master as well. So it is not only the fight against the Zionist state, it is ultimately the fight against the colonialism as well. And these days, it is also the fight against the capitalism as well. Because the capitalism, it is said that the capitalism is the religion of the colonial power. So it is not only the fight against Jewish, it is fight against capitalism, colonialism, and etc. So by saying that, I would like to end my speech that in the upcoming days, it is not only the fight of the Muslims, it is fight of all the mankind, be it Christians, be it Jewish, be it Muslims, be it Hindus, or everyone. It is fight against injustice. So until and unless we bring all them together in the fight against this Zionist state, we cannot succeed. So the Hindus must say, the Christians must say, the Jewish must say, whatever is going on against the Palestinians in Jerusalem, in that Gaza Strip, in that West Bank, it is not a Muslim versus Jewish state. It is a war versus right and wrong, a war versus colonial power, Zionism, against the people who follow the true path, who follow the equality and human dignity. Thank you so much, and Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah khairan, Brother Simon. Very well put. The fight against this occupation is not something that has to do with religion. It's not against the religion of Judaism. It's not anti-Semite, which basically West and some Western media tries to portray. It is about right versus wrong. The reason we are condemning this occupation is because what Zionists are doing. It is not against the religion of Judaism. In fact, it is an insult to the religion of Judaism, what these Zionist occupiers are doing. It is the same reason why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam 1400 years ago expelled 3 Jewish tribes from Medina, Banu Qaynuqa, Banu Qurayza, and Banu Nazir. It's not because what they believed in. It was not because what was their religion. They were not expelled because they were Jewish. They were expelled because what they did against the state of Medina at that time. Similarly, what we are condemning today is not because what the people of Israel believes in, but what the rulers of Israel doing. and systematically doing it. So this is like rightly what Brother Simon said. This is against colonialism. This is against occupation. This is against right versus wrong. At this point, I would like to invite Dr. Nakib Nasrullah, who is a professor of law from Dhaka University, to give his deliberation. And just request to Dr. Tariq Nasrullah, if you can limit your speech in 12 minutes, would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Honorable moderator, and also the distinguished chairperson of this session, and other dignitaries, respected speakers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, in fact, I am not mentally prepared to talk about today's topic, the celebration of Eid with the bombardment in Palestinian area. Because whenever we go to talk about this situation, it's quite obvious that we have to be speechless. Because it's something that is a long-standing matter, unresolved matter. The international community has been ignorant about this year after years. And we the Muslims, we are playing very poor role, very weaker role, and not the appropriate role being the Muslims. And so therefore, I find it very uncomfortable today to talk about this issue. Because on the eve of the Eid celebration, what we witnessed like 2 days back or 3 days back, the aggression, as the Simon Reza said, committed on the Muslims, the peoples who are in prayer in Masjid al-Aqsa. And it is not the matter of today. As I told you before, it has been the long-standing matter. And so therefore, to begin with, I strongly condemn this kind of atrocities, this kind of aggressive attack by the occupation forces of Israel. And at the same time, I extend my heartfelt the sympathy to those who are the victims of these situations, the Palestinian peoples, who are still playing their role bravely, even under such situations. And therefore, as I mentioned one thing, what we need to do, because this is not a matter of today, it has been a long-standing matter. As the moderator said, the Arab world is, they are not actually playing the right role. The Saudi Arabia, look at Saudi Arabia and other countries, what they are doing in favor of in favor of the Palestinian people. Even the humanist activists and the parliamentarians and different NGOs raise their strong voice against Israel's occupation, against Israel's atrocities. You know, the main surprising matter here is the role of the United Nations. You know, in 1945, United Nations was established to establish peace and security across the globe. And therefore, the main responsibility was conferred upon the Security Council to maintain peace and security. And the duty that lies with the Security Council, conferred upon the Security Council under Chapter 7 of the UN Charter, seems to me very false, because I am the teacher of international law. Whenever I am asked about these questions, asked about this, what is happening? What is the utility of the international law? What is actually the success rate of the General Assembly, like the United Nations, in bringing peace and ending the atrocities and the tortures and the crimes against humanity, against the weakest in the world? Then I find no answer satisfactory to me that I can provide to my students. They are not playing the roles. See, when you look, the few days back, when a government was deposed in Myanmar, the international voice was raised against the autocrat government, the military government. Then look at the other words at the same situations, and then this has been done since long. But no voice, even the Muslims. But I'm not concerned about the other, but very much concerned about the Muslims. Because against the Muslims, all are united. All Jews and all other non-Muslims are united. And what Muslims are doing here? Muslims are not following the Quranic verses. We can give you a reference of the Quranic verses in Surah Nisa, the verse number 75. مَا لَكُمْ لَا تُقَاتِلُونَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَالْمُسْتَضْعَفِينَ مِنَ الرِّجَالِ وَالنِّسَاءِ وَالْوِلْدَانِ الَّذِينَ يَقُولُونَ رَبَّنَا أَخْرِجْنَا مِنْ هَذِهِ الْقَرْيَةِ الظَّالِمِ أَهْلُهَا وَاجْعَل لَّنَا مِن لَّدُنكَ وَلِيًّا وَاجْعَل لَّنَا مِن لَّدُنكَ نَصِيرًا. If we go to translate this verse, because the verse is clear to you, some of you understand the meaning of this verse. What is the wrong with the Muslims? What is the wrong with you? You are not fighting in the cause of the Almighty, where the ill-treated peoples, ill-treated women, ill-treated children, so they are crying, "Oh Lord, akhrijna min hazil qaryati zalimi ahluha." So if I compare the state Palestine now with the Korea, it can be relevant, because it's a locality which has turned, say, a locality of torture, a locality of the victims, because they are always the prey in the hands of the occupation forces of the Israel. So what we Muslims are doing, even we Muslims are not raising our voice. We are not extending our helping hand towards them. That when because the aggression is prohibited under UN Charter, but aggressed, suppressed nations, they can defend themselves. What is now Hamas is doing in the exercise of the right to self-defense, they are doing so, and they are even asking assistance from the other Muslim worlds. So Muslim worlds are very much confined to their voices only, and not taking the active, playing the active role here. If all the Muslims getting united, raise their voice at the same time, they become committed, like that. We are sending force to to fight against the Israeli peoples. Even the surrounding countries like Saudi Arabia and other countries, if they get united, and if they get united and get committed to send their forces against occupation forces, so they would not have taken this courage. I believe so, but they are not doing so. So they are not actually they are not following these verses. Even the other verses we know in Quran, what Muslims are doing. That we know in the recent few months, some Arabian countries have come into different international agreements, different business agreements, which the aviation agreement with Israel. There's Israel. The لا يتخذ المؤمنون الكافرين أولياء من دون المؤمنين. This verse is very relevant here. Then the Muslims should not connect with, should not make friends to their enemies, the non-Muslims, barring the Muslims, leaving the Muslims. What do you see? What we see now, despite in a state of looking into the interest of the Palestinian, long-standing interest of the Palestinian peoples, Muslim Nasrullah are coming forwards. So they have become the friends to to our enemies, to the Israelis. This is quite upsetting. I have nothing to say here on the eve of such atrocities being committed by the Israeli people. But they're against the Muslim, that only the thing that the Security Council. The Security Council is a rubber stamp of the five the superpowers. If one superpowers gives their veto to any substantive decisions, the decision would not be passed, would not be approved. But therefore, I'm not hopeful about the Security Council sections. They will not do anything in favor of the Muslim, the Palestinian people. Even it is very much false. According to the international law, the Montevideo Convention, Palestine is a state as it fulfills all the requirements of the statehood. Nevertheless, that you praise very much, the Muslims praise very much the government of the Joe Biden's the Republican government, no, not the Republican, Democratic government. What is his name? Just before the Trump, what was his name? Obama. Muslims, whenever Obama was elected, Muslim praised so much, and Obama was given the peace award, Nobel. He was a Nobel winner for peace. But what he did for the Israeli people, he did nothing. Because when the question of their statehood came to the forefront of the General Assemblies, most of the General Assembly members recognized the Palestine as a state. But Obama said, the American representative said there, that it should be resolved with in consultation between Israel and the Palestinian government. What a farce. So therefore, today, so what I'll say, that even that the Muslims organization YC, it's an organizations, they're good for nothing. I must say, they're not doing anything. What is happening in Egypt? So when a democratic government was established, within very few days, democratic government was deposed, and that the leader of the democratic government was succumbed to the death during his jail under this the current regime. So I believe that if democracy could be established in in these areas in the Arabian countries, the situation would have been changed. But I don't see any hope that democracy in near future is going to be established there. And so therefore, you the Muslims, you the people, so you please campaign against the occupant forces, Israelis, and create and build up the advocacy against them. We have to do this because there are many organizations, human rights organizations, and on the basis of their campaign, we know that in Nicaragua case, America became bound to make compensation to Nicaragua. But there is no such an organization in Muslims who can compel the international community to vote in favor of the Palestine and stand against the Israeli forces. So we simply are organizing this kind of the discussions, and this is not the practice of the today. It has been a long-standing practice, and this is not the end. How can we put an end to this this type of practice? We shouldn't confine only our works to this. Rather, we have to do this something institutionally, and like I requested the Muslim Heritage, the president of the Muslim Heritage organizations. You please take the role. You please make some circulation to different Muslim countries, asking them to stand by the people of the Palestinian and raise your voice against, and raise your voice everywhere, at every point. So I am very much pleased to the Qatar's role at these situations, because Qatar directly declared that will assist the Hamas. You know that the
Dr. Nakib
Hamas.
Nasrullah, if you can
Yes,
finish with the next 2 minutes.
yes. Next 2 minutes I will bring an end to my lecture. Okay. So, and whenever I talk about the Palestinian people, I only repent. I have nothing but repent what we are doing being the Muslims. And we feel the Muslims are the weak, very weak, the weakest nation in the world. They don't have anything. They don't have any support. And therefore in Quran, وَجْعَلْ لَنَا مِن لَدُنْكَ وَلِيًّا. Oh Lord, you please give us a leader. وَجْعَلْ لَنَا مِن لَدُنْكَ نَصِيرًا. Oh Lord, you please from your part give us a nasir, a person who can assist us enough. So whenever this dua will be approved by the Almighty, and there will be a leadership, and Muslim world lacks such a leadership. There is no political leader in the Muslim world. There is no religious leaders in the Muslim world. Few days back, so when I was talking about the unity of the Muslim Ummah, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ وَالْجَمِيعَ وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Who will build the catch? Who will take the responsibility to unite all the Muslims? Either Erdogan or the Malaysian presidents or any other Muslim government? I don't see the hope. So we can take some proper actions being at our level. That is, we can make some campaign, and in different ways, like in like public speech, like the circulations of some leaflets, some papers, and some the other documentaries. We can reach our voice to all Muslim nations, and thus we can make some things for our people, for our brother, and then we can actually will be able to fulfill the even to some extent the sense of spirit of Islamic brotherhood. Innamal mu'minuna ikhwa. All Muslims alike, and the world Muslims are brothers. And at the end, I want to remember and the refer to a hadith of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He says that all Muslims are like a single man. If the eye is afflicted, the whole body is afflicted. If the head is afflicted, then the whole body is afflicted. So they are not the people of the Palestine. They are not the Muslims of the Palestine. They are our brothers. And with this sense, we have to come forward and extend our all-out help to them. And we should the advocates this towards the Muslims world especially, and to the other worlds in general. And with this, again, I would like to express my sympathy to the Palestinian Muslims and condemns the activities, the atrocious activities of the occupied forces of Israel. And all the very best to you all for allowing me to have few words on these occasions. Thank you very much.
Jazakallah khairan, Dr. Nakib Nasrullah, for your valuable input. I would like to quote a very articulate word by Noam Chomsky, who is a leading scholar, philosopher, and human rights activist. He said, "You take my water, you burn my olive trees, you destroy my house, you take my job, steal my land, imprison my father, kill my mother, bombard my country, starve us all, humiliate us all, but I am to blame because I shot a rocket back. Free Palestine." With that, I would like to invite our next speaker, who is with us all the way from Malaysia, Dr. Nowshad Amin, who is a professor of renewable energy and solar photovoltaics at University of Tenaga National, which is the National Energy University of Malaysia. Let's give our undivided attention to Dr. Nowshad Amin.
Assalamu alaikum. I think I'm audible. Is it okay? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon. Eid Mubarak to everyone. Salamat Hari Raya from Malaysia. It's very sad that today is a day here. It's also a celebration day in Malaysia, but we cannot celebrate for two reasons. One is the COVID-19 situation. It's not good at all here in Malaysia. So we are completely locked up in our rooms, and I feel the same kind of feelings that our brothers in Gaza and in East Jerusalem are feeling over the years, because they are being locked up in their home. For even in Kashmir, I feel the same thing. So today the Eid celebration, although it is technically it is given to from Allah Subhanahu wa Taala that we will celebrate today. We'll be having. I will not observe Ramadan or Saum today. We have to celebrate in a way that we'll meet our parents with our nears and dears. But the other situation which is going on for the last 1 week, we have seen that is none other than the situation in Palestine. Since our childhood, we have learned about this situation, and over the period of time, although we didn't learn through our textbooks or something, we have learned from our conscience that is given from Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Every human being who has conscience will get the message about this situation, will get the message about their stance. Here, I just want to say one quote from someone I heard. I cannot remember who said it. That's somebody said that you don't have to be a Muslim to show your solidarity with the Palestinian people. Just be a human. So I think it is a very nice quote. The person who made it first, that you need to be a human being. You don't have to be a Muslim. I don't want to talk about the religion dividation. I just want to say that every human being who love the whole world and who love the humanity, so they should understand the situation there, which is going on over the period of time. There was so many pledges, or I should say there are so many dreams that were given to the Palestinian people since the beginning of this Oslo Accord. I think I remember. Then there was because before that there was it's almost the Palestinian people was having more resistance than nowadays. I see that very less the resistance coming from the Palestinian people, either on the Gaza side or the West Bank side. So when they were given the word that you'll be having two states, the kind of words given by the world leaders in 90s, then the Palestinian resistance became very they were believing those words. So what I want to say that do not try to believe whatever they say. Do not try to accept whatever they say. Who say, you all understand who says that. I have been listening to the two of our esteemed speakers until now, that the people who are running the country, maybe some few families or some few people that who are always giving us bogus dreams or bogus words that there will be peace, there will be two-state solution. They have been telling all the time, and people were believing. But I think now is the time that we don't just simply want to believe those kind of bogus words anymore. There should be concrete things. There should be something that we can believe, we can act upon. So the thing is, as it was said that the Islamic nations are not doing, I think the situation became worse whenever Islam has been divided into nationalism or different nations or states. Islam does not support nationalism, to the best of my knowledge. I might be wrong, but I feel that Islam has an ummah kind of feeling, that it's a kind of a body, so we don't discriminate among any parts, among my nail or my toe or whatever. I have the body parts. I don't discriminate. I have to take care of every single part of my body. What I say that whenever the other side, they understood that we cannot change their iman or the belief. They started different strategy. I said that I don't have to learn rocket science to understand all those things. Allah has given us hikmah, that is God-given, Allah-given things, that I always understand that whoever has this conscience, whoever has the intention of righteousness can easily understand. Even not being a Muslim, they can understand. If they have the intention of establishing for example, justice, they will also understand. That's why we see that among non-Muslims also nowadays, there have been some movements around the world. Even these days, you can see. Even today, I think there was some gathering in front of Geneva, the United Nations headquarters. So what I want to say that this kind of thing, like this kind of dividation or divide and rule that was created by one state back in the past, like 100 years ago, they have created this problem. And with that, we understand, with the Muslims, whenever we learn, even I was not, frankly speaking, I didn't go to any Islamic school or nothing. I just went to the conventional school in Bangladesh. Then I went to Japan since 1990. I studied there for a long time. So I was completely detached from Islamic environment for a long time. However, I'm living in Malaysia for the last 16 years. But what I say, that whenever you are looking for some truth, Allah will show you. If you want to see the truth, Allah will show you, will give you the signs. So what every individuals in the world now, even being in a very remote place of Africa or very remote place of any village in any remote places, will understand that what the atrocities are going on in Palestine. This is common logic. But what we see recently, they try to provocate, they try to create propaganda war, and they are creating the second or third generation of those people in Israel. Those are becoming more hostile. I see that on the other hand, we are more, the people from other side, or for example, those who are believing Islam, they're becoming more like generous, more loving, because they study more nowadays because of these mass penetration of like internet, all this media. So now, one thing I remember that whatever they do, we cannot do because they're not our teachers. They do atrocities, we cannot do the same way. We always, Allah has given us this, like, many virtues. Among 99 of Allah's great names are somehow related to virtues, different kind of virtues, and we are all, being a Muslim, we cannot do the same thing, we cannot do the same atrocities, but we have to protest. In a way, Rasulullah said to us, we have to protect ourselves and we have to use our force, we have to use our words, or the least is to hate these kind of atrocities. But the thing is, I feel that even our kids, even I have 3 daughters, they are also learning these days about the atrocities. I don't say these kind of things. These kind of things are taboo in my house. I don't talk about creating hatred among a special group of people, being it a Jewish, being it some other people, some other religion. But eventually, people are learning the truth. You don't have to worry about the things. Worry about ourselves. I feel that we, the Muslims, individuals, should be more Allah-fearing, should be more sincere about our duties. Eventually, whatever will happen. Some people say that related to Palestine, there are so many prophecies. There will be this and that. Recent days, we see so many of these stories, or so many of these prophecies. Maybe some of those hadiths, also we see authentic hadiths. Or sometimes maybe it's not authentic. The thing is, Allah has plans. We also have our own duty. We feel that we have to feel the solidarity. These are the events that we see over the period of time. Time to time, our iman has been tested. I feel that end of the day, I'm a human being. Maybe I do research on some particular part, but at the end of the day, I have the responsibility towards the humanity. Whatever I do, I should be a side of the justice. And wherever the justice is not served, if any Muslim ruler is not serving the justice, we have to stand against it. It could be our own country. It could be any country. It could be the country I'm living now. So everywhere, please, let's not forget our own duty. Let's always, do not just put one event in towards this Jerusalem issue or a Palestine issue, because I see that always injustice is happening around us. So we, as human being, as a Muslim, we have to I mean, show our role. We have to show our belief in every act, in every words, and in our mindset as well as a mu'min. So I think we don't have to worry. Inshallah, one day we'll see with our integrity, with our sincerity, and with our acts. Definitely, we should not just keep quiet. We'll do whatever is possible at our level. Even our kids are learning this. If this evil, like regime, whatever they're doing, against the humanity, it's definitely a crime against humanity. My previous speaker already mentioned that this is crime against humanity, and we have been seeing it over the period of time. We are really tired of it. Every time, almost every Ramadan, we see some skirmish going on. So what I feel is that, please, let's do our part. Let's educate ourselves. Some people are blaming our backwardness. Muslims are now backward. They are not going towards the right path. They are doing something else. They are always looking for the signs, but not learning from the Quran. They are only mimicking the verses, but they are not interpreting in the way that we should interpret and we should learn. But I said that we should not worry. Allah Almighty has planned. Just we as a Muslim, we have to always be Muslim. We cannot be, even though we conquer some land, we cannot touch. We cannot do injustice. That has been taught since day one by Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So, end of the day, I don't feel any kind of inferiority complex. I don't feel any kind of superiority complex as well. Allah has promised us so many things. So even though we see the atrocities, we should not lose our hope, and we should not believe those bare words given by some big countries, big leaders, already named a few here over the period of time. And there are so many shameless comments. Even recently, if you hear from the Ministry of like their Foreign Department or something, international relations, we see those kind of hypocrisy always. So let's not pay our attention to those hypocrisies, and let's not waste our time and towards those closed doors. Let's do our part. Allah's door is always open. I think this is the way that we can overcome, and we always pray that our brothers all over the world, not only Palestine, not only Gaza or West Bank, there are Syria, there are Myanmar, there are Kashmir, and there are many other people. Even for the non-Muslims, those who are oppressed by some other rulers, even the Muslim rulers, we should pray for them. We should tackle every injustice happening in this world created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'll not take that much time. I'd like to say, because I'm not that much knowledgeable in terms of international relations and all those things, and in Islamic knowledge also, I don't have, because I spent a long time in a country in Japan where I was not really, that time was not an internet era, so I have little knowledge. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn every day. But one thing is that learning science, learning arts, learning any kind of thing does not prohibit you to become a human being. And there's no contradiction between being a good Muslim and being any other role model of the society, of so-called society. So I think I would not take that much time. I would like to hear from others also. I have been listening to the very valuable speeches, and we always pray. We will do our part. Even today, I got some call that somebody is asking how to help the brothers who are suffering in Palestine. I told them that in 2003, while I was in the US for my postdoc, I met one Palestinian brother. He said, our problem is not economical problem, so we don't need money, in fact. Yes, we need money whenever there is a reconstruction thing, but our thing is more political. Okay, so I remember that word from the friend, Palestinian brother. Today I told the person who called me, I said, let's wait. Whenever there will be the chance to donate money, yeah, we'll do our part, but we have to make sure that we do not lose our conscience and always do the righteous, being the oppressed side is Muslims, being the oppressed side is non-Muslims as well. So we'll always show our generosity. That is the teachings of Islam. That's the teachings of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And hopefully with that way, we'll overcome during our time. We do not have to wait that much time, inshallah. I think today is Eid celebration. We cannot, even in Malaysia today, due to COVID situation, we cannot even meet our neighbors. This complete lockdown. We are not allowed to go out to meet people. So I should say that at least this kind of feeling is giving us it's giving us somehow, it's God-given feeling, Allah-given feeling, that we are feeling at our own home, that how the confined state people or confined people feel whenever they are being restricted by so many of atrocities towards them. I would like to thank the organizer once again, and I'd like to thank everyone, and we would like to pray for our brothers and for their betterment, and for the whole humankind, for the enlightenment given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That means so that they will come to the sense. Hopefully one day our prayer will bring those people who are even non-Muslim will come to the sense that what they're doing, what their so-called hypocrisies are, what their arrogances are, even being it the oppressor. Maybe one day they will come to the sense. We'll wait for that with our own dignity, with our own sincerity, towards our Islamic, every rules and regulations, Islamic belief. With that, I would like to end. Thank you so much once again. Assalamu alaikum and good evening.
Jazakallah khairan, Doctor. Thank you very much for your deliberation. Again, I was just checking in the news. Latest news is that Israeli authorities targeted at least 350 buildings, high-story buildings, and as a result, more than 65 people in Gaza were killed, and among them, 16 were children. So this is a blatant and flagrant violation of international law, and this is nothing but war crimes. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Aizur Rahman Azad, who is the president of Islamic Forum Hong Kong, to deliver his speech.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Sure.
Okay, thank you very much. Dear moderator and respectable guests, I'd like to say something on this holiday. Actually, as my previous speakers were telling that around last 50 or 60 years, we are hearing about the sufferings of Palestinian peoples. I am around 40. So far, I can remember when I was around 10 or 12 years old, I came to know maybe 4 or 5 countries' name. Palestine was one of them. And from that time, we are hearing always about their sufferings. So today we are celebrating one of our biggest celebration, Eid. But if we just think about their sufferings, what are they doing now? They're always thinking about their sufferings. Even the last month, means the month of Ramadan, they didn't have the chance to have good food, have the chance to have their suhoor or iftar one time due to the bombardment from the Israeli occupation. So what we can see that there is air in Palestine, but the air is not fresh. The air is full of tear gas. There is water, but the water is not fresh due to their bombardment. So actually, I can't express my word because I'm really feeling something bad, very bad, very horrible due to this unwanted situation. And the word I just want to say that Muslims around the world don't have the human rights. Everywhere throughout the country, throughout the world, Muslims are suffering. Muslims don't have rights in Kashmir. Muslims don't have rights in Palestine. They don't have rights in Syria. So what we need at this moment is we need just to be united. We need a good leader. We need a supreme leader who can speak out about us, who can tell the world that no, we are not weak that much, what you are thinking. We have everything. Even the people surrounding Palestine, if they become united, I think Israel don't have that much courage to do the things what they are doing right now. So from my side, I just want to invite the Muslim leaders to be united and to protest Israel. if just we stand beside Palestinian brothers and sisters, I think it will be stopped within a moment, within a days. So we just, from this talk, we can ask the people, we can ask the Muslim leaders that whatever happened is enough. Enough is enough. Just come together, stand out, and just tell that, oh Israel, you will stop. We can ask United Nations, we can ask US, we can ask UK that the sufferings is actually, I don't know sometimes how to mention the words. Today I am somewhat weak and I was unable to, I told that I don't want to attend this session, but somehow they requested me. Anyway, I just convey my word that it's enough. Please be united and stay beside our brothers and sisters. Ask Israel to stop right now. And by this way, I think this problem can be solved and we can find a better way. We can find a better days for our brothers and sisters. So that's all from my side. Thank you for giving me the chance to say something. Thank you all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Azizur Rahman Azad, President Islamic Forum Hong Kong. And now I'd like to request to deliver a speech Enes Malik Yılmaz, Saadet Party Istanbul Youth Branch and Head of Foreign Relations, Turkey. I'd like to request to deliver a speech Enes Malik Yılmaz.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, so we can hear you.
Assalamu alaikum again. It's Enes Malik Yılmaz from Saadet Party Istanbul Branch, Istanbul Youth Branch Foreign Relations. Actually, I have something to say, to talk about in my mind, but most of you already talked about them. Actually, I want to say something new about our political goals. And first of all, as most of you know, Professor Dr. Necmettin Erbakan, during all of his life, were saying that we need an Islamic Union in all over the world. But now, after his death, we can understand the necessity of the union. And so, as a Saadet Party, we try to make powerful relations between Turkey and other all Islamic country. Because of, if we know each other, we can make a union. But as we understand, as we see now, in the world, all over the world, the Muslims has weak connections between them. So I think, that's my personal opinion, first of all, we have to make powerful again our relations. For example, I want to thank you especially for this organization. That's like, these organizations are really important for me and for our political party. Actually, I have, as I said to you before, I have something to say, but I'm not going to recount what the occupying Israel did here today again, but I will briefly share our ideas on what can we do, what we can do, especially as young people, because of, as you all know, young people in the life of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has an important place. So we have a future, and the future of us will be established by youngs, by us. So I want to say that again, all over the world, the youngs from all over the world have to make again their connections powerful. So I think we can make a union again. We can make solution again by this way. I believe that. And on this way, we will try to do something again and again and again. Because of we learned that from Necmettin Erbakan and all other the Islamic leaders from Mevdudi, from Ali Izzet Begovic, from others. I couldn't remember now. Finally, what I can say, I'm just looking for that. As most of you have stated again, and we must very well recognize the arguments of the Israel, of the occupying Israel, because of we were protesting the Israel occupation in front of the consulate of Israel in Istanbul. And when you look the social media accounts of the Israel governments, of the Netanyahu, of the son of Netanyahu, you can see that no, Israel tried to make his legitimacy in Palestine. I think as political communities, we have to break down that. We have to work about it because of Israel is afraid of losing his legitimacy in international community. We know in Islamic community, most of Islamic community, Israel has no legitimacy, but in the international community, they have. Israel has it, unfortunately. I think we have to work about it too. I want to end my presentation with a sentence of Professor Dr. Necmettin Erbakan. Necmettin Erbakan was saying that Israel understands just power. If you want to talk with Israel, you have to be powerful. If you want to talk with United States, you have to be powerful. So getting power should be our first goal in all over the world. I want to thank you, especially World Muslim Heritage Research Center and you all. Thank you again. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much, Enes, Malik, Yılmaz, Saadet Party, Istanbul Youth Branch, and Head of Foreign Relations, Turkey. Respected viewers, now I'd like to request to deliver a speech Dr. Ahed Abulatta, President, Palestinian Scholars Association in Diaspora, Southeast Asia. الآن يخطب أمامكم دكتور أحيد أبوعتية.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. ثم أما بعد، إخواني الكرام، أحييكم جميعا بتحية الإسلام، فالسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. تسمعني أخي؟
نعم نسمع.
إن شاء الله أتحدث بالعربية وتترجم أو كيف؟ I have to speak
باللغة العربية أو اللغة الإنجليزية؟ أنت
I have to speak all or you will translate one by one?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you can English, then it will be better. What you want?
Better Arabic, inshallah. You translate it better, inshallah.
Thank you.
inshallah. جزاكم الله خير. Yes, نعم إخواني الكرام، حقيقة في البداية يعني أنا أشكركم على هذا الحدث وهذا النشاط الذي يتفاعل مع قضية فلسطين والمسجد الأقصى المبارك، وهذا واجب الأمة اليوم أن تقف مع فلسطين والمسجد الأقصى المبارك في ظل الاعتداء الصهيوني الذي يتعرض له المسجد الأقصى. نعم أخي.
We need the translation, right? Brother is giving you to translate.
Who will translate, please?
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Brother, you can continue إن شاء الله. أنت تخطب باللغة العربية ونلخص إن شاء الله فيما بعد. إن
طيب
شاء الله.
تمام إن شاء الله. تمام. It's okay إن شاء الله. اليوم حقيقة فلسطين تتعرض إلى أبشع الهجمات من قبل الاحتلال الإسرائيلي. في بداية الحدث طبعا فلسطين ليس فقط هذا اليوم هي تتعرض للاحتلال، وإنما فلسطين منذ زمن طويل تتعرض إلى الهجمات من قبل الاحتلال الإسرائيلي. في عام 2000 تعرضت إلى انتفاضة فلسطينية عندما قام رئيس الوزراء الإسرائيلي باقتحام المسجد الأقصى. 2005 أيضا كان هناك انتفاضة أخرى في فلسطين، وعام 2010 كان هناك انتفاضة أخرى. 2017 كان انتفاضة البوابات وانتفاضة باب الرحمة. هذا كله كان يتعرض للمسجد الأقصى المبارك. اليوم جاءت عندنا أحداث الشيخ جراح. الاحتلال الإسرائيلي أراد أن يخرج أهلنا أصحاب البيوت من مساكنهم، وهذا ظلم يتعرض له أهلنا في حي الشيخ جراح. وفي المقابل أيضا أراد الاحتلال أن يقتحم المسجد الأقصى اقتحاما كبيرا بعدد كبير من الجنود الإسرائيليين ليدخلوا بما يسمى عندهم عيد الدولة الواحدة. والحقيقة اليوم أرادت فلسطين أن تتوحد من أجل المسجد الأقصى المبارك. وأيضا اللي هو هنا في شيء مهم جدا، فلسطين وأيضا وحدت العالم الإسلامي، لأنه حقيقة في الفترة الماضية تراجع التضامن وتراجع التعاطف مع فلسطين، فجاءت قضية القدس، ونحن نعرف أن قضية القدس هي البوصلة من أجل نهضة الأمة ونهضة العالم الإسلامي. فجاءت هذه الحادثة لكي تشعل الغضب عند أهل فلسطين، كيف يدخل الاحتلال الإسرائيلي إلى المسجد الأقصى. وبفضل الله سبحانه وتعالى أثبتت فلسطين أنه لا مجال للاحتلال أن يهين المسلمين في مقدساتهم. فدخلت غزة بحمد الله سبحانه وتعالى، وهددت غزة الاحتلال الإسرائيلي، قالت له إذا لم ترفعوا أيديكم عن حي الشيخ جراح، وإذا لم توقفوا الاقتحامات للقدس والمسجد الأقصى، فإن المقاومة سيكون لها كلمتها. وهذا بفضل الله ما حدث، لكي تثبت المقاومة أنها تدافع عن الشعب الفلسطيني وتدافع عن كرامة الأمة وعقيدة الأمة الإسلامية. إذن اليوم حقيقة نحن نعيش أجواء حرب، وأنا أحدثكم الآن هناك العديد من الهجمات من الاحتلال الإسرائيلي يقوم بقصف أهل غزة بالصواريخ، ويقوم قصف المباني داخل قطاع غزة. لذلك نحن سنتحدث عن العيد. اليوم لا يوجد عيد كما موجود في العالم الإسلامي. بالأمس أنا كنت في كوالالمبور عند انتهاء الإفطار، كانت كوالالمبور تحتفل بالمفرقعات وبدء عيد جديد، وأنا كنت أتابع مع أهلنا في غزة كيف تسقط الصواريخ على البيوت وتسقط الصواريخ على رؤوس الأطفال، وكنت أقول يعني ما الفرق بين هذا وما بين ذاك. حقيقة هناك فرق شاسع. عندما كنا نشاهد الناس تفرح وتلعب، وإخواننا هناك يعني يفرحون بسقوط الصواريخ على رؤوسهم. فإذا حقيقة الآن الأجواء في غزة أجواء صعبة جدا، لا يوجد عيد. لكن لو جئنا وقارنا ما بين النفوس التي يعيشها أهلنا في فلسطين، الحمد لله هي نفوس قوية، نفوس ثابتة. هل يغضبون؟ لا يغضبون من ذلك، بل إنهم يفرحون عندما يقدمون الشهداء، يفرحون عندما يقدمون بيوتهم تهدم في سبيل الله سبحانه وتعالى، لأنهم يشعرون أن بذلك يضحون من أجل المسجد الأقصى المبارك. فلذلك الآن عدد الشهداء في فلسطين في قطاع غزة ما يزيد عن 90 شهيد، وما يزيد عن 600 جريح يقبعون داخل المستشفيات. الاحتلال الإسرائيلي الآن يمنع الصلاة أو من خلال القصف على البيوت، لا يستطيع الناس أن يذهبون إلى بيوت الله سبحانه وتعالى بسبب كثافة القصف على البيوت والمساجد والمنشآت الصحية. الآن الاحتلال يقصف كل شيء متحرك داخل قطاع غزة. الإصابات الآن في المستشفى كبيرة جدا بسبب القصف، لأن الاحتلال الإسرائيلي يقصف البيوت والناس بداخلها. هذا إجرام الذي نعيشه حقيقة اليوم داخل قطاع غزة. تخيل أن الناس يكونون آمنين داخل بيوتهم، يقوم الاحتلال بقصف البيت والناس آمنين داخل البيت، فيستشهد في ذلك الطفل ويستشهد المرأة ويستشهد الرجل ويستشهد الزوجة، كل ذلك يكون مرة واحدة. الاحتلال يقوم بقصف الأبراج، أبراج مكونة من طوابق كبيرة، ونحن نشاهد هنا، يعني هنا مثلا في كوالالمبور نشاهد الأبراج الكبيرة كم تحتوي من المكاتب، كم تحتوي من السكان، كم تحتوي من المعدات. يقوم الاحتلال في لحظة واحدة بقصف هذا البرج. لماذا؟ حتى يضغط على المقاومة ألا تقوم بالدفاع عن المسجد الأقصى وعن المسلمين. الاحتلال الإسرائيلي الآن يمارس أبشع صور الهمجية مع الشعب الفلسطيني، فكيف سيكون عيد أمام هذا الأمر؟ وأنا حقيقة هنا يعني إذاء هذا الأمر، وأنا الآن حقيقة أخاطب نخبة من المفكرين ونخبة من العلماء، وأتشرف أن أكون معكم. لكن يا إخوة حقيقة أود أن أتحدث بصراحة. نحن اليوم لابد أن يكون لكل المؤسسات الإسلامية ولكل النخب الإسلامية دور في الدفاع عن المسجد الأقصى، لأننا نحن اليوم فلسطين، والمسجد الأقصى هو ليس لوحدنا نحن الفلسطينيين، وإنما المسجد الأقصى هو ملك للأمة. وأنا أؤكد على هذه المسألة. فلسطين ليس للفلسطينيين، لأن الله سبحانه وتعالى بارك هذه الأرض. الله سبحانه وتعالى جعلها أرض جهاد في سبيل الله سبحانه وتعالى. فإذا الأمة لابد كلها أن تتكاتف من أجل نصرة فلسطين، لأنه إذا تركتنا الأمة اليوم لوحدنا سيتغلب علينا الاحتلال الإسرائيلي. إذا تركتنا الأمة اليوم سيستطيع الاحتلال الإسرائيلي أن يحقق أهدافه في سياسة تقسيم المسجد الأقصى المبارك. الأمر الثاني حقيقة نحن نريد أن يصدر عن هذه الاجتماعات وعن هذه الملتقيات شيء عملي في نصرة القضية الفلسطينية، شيء عملي في تحقيق النصرة. نحن نشاهد الكثير من الملتقيات، الكثير من المؤتمرات، لكن هل نخرج بشيء خاص اللي هو ننصر به القضية الفلسطينية؟ وأنا سعدت بحديث بعض الإخوة. نحن نريد الدمج ما بين الموقف السياسي والدمج ما بين الدعم المالي والمعنوي لأهلنا في فلسطين وفي قطاع غزة، لأنه اليوم إذا لم ندمج ما بين هذين الأمرين سنخسر الأشياء الكثيرة. نحتاج الدعم السياسي نعم، وأيضا نحتاج الدعم المالي حتى نثبت أهلنا في فلسطين والمسجد الأقصى المبارك. بالأمس أنا شاركت في مؤتمر قام به الاتحاد العالمي لعلماء المسلمين، وخرج هذا المؤتمر بتوصيات جليلة جدا، منها وضعوا برنامج لعمل فعاليات كثيرة من أجل التفاعل مع المسجد الأقصى وفلسطين. هذا جيد، لكن أيضا نحن، وكان أيضا من توصيات المؤتمر ومن الأولويات الآن هو التوجه نحو دعم أهلنا في فلسطين بالمال وبالعتاد، وبحيث يستطيعوا أن يكفوا أنفسهم، وحيث يستطيعوا أن يواصلوا ثباتهم في تحرير المسجد الأقصى المبارك. اليوم حقيقة في ملاحظة مهمة جدا، التكاتف داخل شعب فلسطين أصبح متكامل ما بين القدس وما بين الضفة الغربية وما بين قطاع غزة، وأيضا ما بين الداخل الفلسطيني، ما بين اللي هو بلادنا المحتلة في 48. هناك العديد من القرى بدأت تلتحم، وهذا لأول مرة يبدأ إخواننا الفلسطينيين في الداخل الفلسطيني بالتفاعل مع قضية القدس والتفاعل مع الحرب الدائرة الآن في قطاع غزة. ويظهر لنا مدى الهمجية من قبل الاحتلال الإسرائيلي في التعامل مع أهلنا في الداخل الفلسطيني. هؤلاء الإخوة الأصل هم معهم جواز سفر إسرائيلي وهم معهم مواطنة إسرائيلية، لكن الاحتلال الإسرائيلي يتعامل معهم على أنهم فلسطينيين، وحقيقة هم فلسطينيون، يدافعون عن القدس، لكن ظهرت الهمجية من قبل الاحتلال الإسرائيلي في التعامل مع هذه الشريحة في المجتمع الفلسطيني في الداخل المحتل. إذن يا إخوة، الحقيقة اليوم نحن أمام هجمة شرسة يقوم بها الاحتلال الإسرائيلي. هنا هذه الهجمة تلقي علينا ثقل كبير في التفاعل والتضامن مع القضية الفلسطينية والمسجد الأقصى. وأنا هنا أتحدث مع نخب، وهذه النخب لابد أن يكون لها دور فاعل. وأسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يبارك فيكم، وجزاكم الله خيرا على هذا اللقاء، ولعله يكون له ما بعده في نصرة أهلنا في فلسطين وفي قطاع غزة.
أشكركم جزيلا لخطبتك دكتور أهيد أبو أتية. Thank you very much, Dr. Ahed Abulatta, for your excellent speech. Respected viewers, you are watching a discussion on each celebration of Palestinian with Israeli bombardment. I would like to request now it's time to our respected chair of today's session. It's time to Global President, World Muslim Heritage Research Center, USA, Professor Dr. Mohammad Ruhul Amin. I would like to request to give his speech, Honorable Chair of today's session, Professor Dr. Mohammad Ruhul Amin.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi.
Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Wa ba'd. Respected moderator, distinguished guest speakers, dear audience, brothers and sisters, it's my pleasure to be here and to welcome all of our guest speakers to this seminar, which is very important for the Ummah. So I would like to thank Professor Dr. Nakib Nasrullah and Professor Dr. Nowshad Amin, Dr. Ahed Abulatta, and then Enes, Malik, Dr. Mohammad Mohiuddin, Brother Abu Samiha Sirajul Islam, and also our Secretary General Advocate Khalid Yahyea, Advocate Saimum Reza Talukdar, and also Dr. Azizur Rahman Azad for your beautiful contribution towards the topic, and especially for the Palestinian brothers and sisters who are suffering during this Eid day and during the last 10 days of the Ramadan. They were trying to be closer to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they were worshipping in Al-Aqsa, but the occupation of Israel occupation and their operation and their terrorism action forced them not to make concentration towards the worshipping Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So dear respected audience, we know that the importance of Masjid al-Aqsa in Islam is very important. Masjid al-Aqsa, it is the second masjid built in Islam, Islamic history, and the third holiest Islamic site for Muslim after Mecca and Medina. And this Al-Aqsa, it is also the holiest place to Jewish people and Christian people. According to the prophetic guidance, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam traveled from Mecca to Jerusalem overnight in the miraculous night journey mentioned in the Holy Quran, which our moderator, Brother Nakib, already told this thing. And also, this Al-Aqsa Mosque, it is very important for so many reasons. First, we have to know, if we go to that in-depth analysis, then why Al-Aqsa is so important, number one. Number two, the compound's religious significance. Number three, the site's status quo. Number four, recent tensions. And number five, the greater context, its ethnic cleansing. It's not a trying to control. Who will be controlling Jerusalem? Who will be controlling Al-Aqsa Mosque? So these are the few things we need to know as a historical background. So now, dear brothers and sisters, Masjid Al-Aqsa, it is now under attack. In the holy month of Ramadan, Israel is further provoking Palestinians by threatening to evict Palestinians from their homes of 70 years in Jerusalem. You know, Sheikh Jarrah, the Palestinians, they were living, they have a multi-story building there, but Israeli police, Israeli law enforcement people, they were forcing to leave that places. And you know that when the Palestinian peoples, they are protesting, then Israel, they are taking the advantage of weakness of the Muslims towards Al-Aqsa. They used to attack on Al-Aqsa. This is their universal rules. They are trying to control over Al-Aqsa so that Muslims can be stopped. This is their policy. So same thing happened here. So Israeli military forces raided the Masjid Al-Aqsa compound while Palestinians were praying Tarawih on the 25th night of Laylatul Qadr and subsequent days of Ramadan. And Israeli forces have terrorized and injured hundreds of worshippers. And these worshippers, not only the men, there was a women and children, and about 60 people were killed inside the Masjid Al-Aqsa. This all over the Israel. So Israel's most recent actions are a continuation of the Zionist settled colonial project to ethnically cleanse Palestinians from Palestine. This is their conspiracy, and you know that there are real facts that why and what are the Al-Aqsa mosque located. Al-Aqsa is a third holy place of Islam and first Qibla of Muslims up to 16 months. And there are 35 huge compounds acres in considered as Al-Aqsa. It is located in old city of Jerusalem, and this city has a 4 quarter. Number 1 is Christian quarter, number 2 Jewish quarter, number 3 Armenian quarter, and number 4 Muslim quarter. And Al-Aqsa is in Muslim quarter. So now, according to the rules, Muslims should control, Palestinian Muslims should control Al-Aqsa, but the Jerusalem has to be 2 parts under international law. You know that the West and East, there are 2 parts of Jerusalem. East for Palestinian and West Jerusalem for Israel. The Muslim quarter is located in the East Jerusalem. So according to international law of United Nations, Palestine should control Al-Aqsa. But since 1967, Israel took control of Palestine territory, East Jerusalem, Gaza. So Palestine have no access in their own territory without permission of Israel to visit. And this is how strange it is that Palestinian people, they cannot access in their territory without the legal permission from Israel. Not only this, 1980, they decided to make Jerusalem as a Jerusalem as a capital of Israel. And you know that Mr. Trump, he supported this thing, but all over the globe, people protested this support. They moved their capital to Jerusalem. So this is the operation. This is operation, and this is terrorized action against Palestinian Muslims. So we condemn this kind of attack. We condemn this kind of cleansing. This is the ethnicity cleansing conspiracy against Palestinian people. So what should we do? What should the Muslim, as a global citizen of Muslim, what should we do? Number one, continue to expose these atrocities and raise awareness on social media. Israel's tools of deception attempt to censor their crimes in the public so that they can continue to get away with these actions. Number two, demand fair and accountable reporting from media outlets to portray the Palestinian struggle as one against oppression and injustice. Number three, demand your public officials to issue statement condemning Israel's action and continue to push for calls of withholding all foreign aid to Israel, which consists of American taxpayer money. We, the American citizen, we are paying tax, so we are requesting the authority concerned to stop financial aid to Israel. Number four, don't normalize relationship with Zionists in the name of interfaith dialogue. So we are very free and frank, but in the name of interfaith, we don't want to normalize relationship with Israel. And number five, politicians who support attacks on Masjid al-Aqsa and Israeli aggression should not be invited to Muslim spaces. So today we are celebrating Eid, but Palestinian brothers and sisters, they are welcoming bombing and airstrikes. So how we can support those people, those elected peoples who are supporting Israel, and they are not supporting Muslims, Palestinian oppressed people. At the same time, we are requesting to continue to support the boycott and divestment and sanctions of Israel movement, and to join your city's protest for Palestine, and continue to make dua for the oppressed globally. So these are our humble requests to brothers and sisters all over the globe. Dear brothers and sisters, our guest speakers, they already told, we are supporting oppressed people, no matter which religion belongs to. So if they are Christian or Buddhist or Hindus or any other religion, if they are oppressed, then we will be standing in favor of justice. We want to ensure justice all over the globe, no matter what religion, what ethnicity, and what citizenship they belongs to. So this is our clear announcement. We want to stand for justice. So Palestinian people, they are oppressed and they cannot enter into their territory without the permission of Israel. So this is very funny. So we want to request OIC to stand for justice and to say the truth, and to boycott Israel and not to make normalization relationship with Israel. So, dear brothers and sisters, and we are are trying our best. We have not enough power or strength to prevent this thing. Just we are raising our voice. And World Muslim Heritage Research Center always trying to protect heritage. So Al-Aqsa, it is the heritage declared by UNESCO, and we want to respect this heritage, not for religious purpose, religious causes, but also as a human rights activist. We want to establish justice all over the globe, no matter which religion they belongs to. So this is our clear announcement, clear declaration. So as a chair of this session, I would like to thank all our distinguished speakers. You have contributed a lot, and you have given the encouragement for our brothers, because our brothers and sisters in Palestine, they cannot even worship freely. They cannot celebrate Eid. They cannot celebrate the normal life. So as a Muslim, according to the guidance of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said, "Masalul mu'minina fi tawaddihim wa tarahumihim kamasalil jasadi idza ishtaka lahu 'udbun tada'a lahu sa'irul jasadi bis-sahri wal huma." So this is the one ummah concept. Brother Saimum already told that we are one ummah. This concept of ummah should encourage us to be united and to come forward to help the oppressed brothers and sisters in Palestine. And also at the same time, the oppressed brothers and sisters in Myanmar, in Kashmir, in China, in anywhere anywhere in globe. So this is our stand. So we are trying our best. Allah's help will be coming, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly commanded us in the Holy Quran, وَمَا لَكُمْ لَا تُقَاتِلُونَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَالْمُسْتَضْعَفِينَ مِنَ الرِّجَالِ وَالنِّسَاءِ وَالْوِلْدَانِ الَّذِينَ يَقُولُونَ رَبَّنَا أَخْرِجْنَا مِنْ هَذِهِ الْقَرْيَةِ الظَّالِمِ أَهْلُهَا. So in Palestine, you know that children are being killed, and women are being killed, and peoples are forced to evacuate from their homes, and multi-storied buildings used to be damaged and destroyed. This is their conspiracy, so that they have a plan that this Israel will be occupying all Palestinian area, and it will be only for Jewish people, Zionist country. But this is their dream, and we cannot make their dream to be fulfilled. So this is, and lastly and not least, we would like to thank all of our brothers speakers, especially brother Dr. Nakib Nasrullah. He wonderfully expressed his opinion that Muslims, Arab Muslims, in Middle East Muslims, they have no democracy. So they are normalizing everything, and they are helping Israel. Also, brother Nowshad, Amin, he said some nice points, but for a short time. So I would like to finish with saying thank you all speakers, especially Dr. Ahed Abulatta. You said that our Palestinian brothers, they are oppressed, they cannot sleep, they have no Eid, there is no environment of Eid there. So we are feeling the same feelings you are feeling, and don't think that you are alone, brother. We are with you, all Muslims, all human being, and most of the human being, they will be supporting you, and 200 billion Muslims will be helping you. So trust and depend upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah's help will be coming. Allah inna nasrullahi qareeb wa la tahinu wa la tahzanu wa antumul a'launa in kuntum mu'minin. Don't despair, don't be frustrated. Allah's help will be coming to you. This is the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just we have to be united. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. So this is my hope, and this is my hope to in this Eid day. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our efforts. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our contribution, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to do whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded to do. Amin. Ya Rabbal Alameen. And thank you very much. Jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair of today's session. I would like to thank all of the guest speakers and as well as our respected viewers to give your valuable time, and stay with Global World Muslim Heritage Research Center USA. And Eid Mubarak, Eid Said, Taqabbalallahu minna wa minkum once again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.